is happening, Magnus sites? I cannot stand this version of Ellie. I cannot stand her. She's written as more of an a-hole than what she is in the game. I don't like her. I don't like her. And now they've revealed a sadistic side to her in this. So this episode starts out with Joel and Ellie walking down the road trying to get to where they need to go. And they come upon a Cumberland Farms. I haven't said that in a long time. Cumberland Farms all died out. It's a convenience store. They all died out around here. I don't think there are any around where I live anymore. So, come on, Cumberland Farms. So they're rummaging through stuff, foraging or whatever. And she finds a trap door to the basement. And you're like, okay. She's going to go down there, stupid kid. She's going to go down there looking for stuff. And what the hell did she find down there? Was that some feminine products? I didn't know what the hell it was. And she sees an infected buried in rubble. So she goes over to it, cuts its head open, cuts the skin open. She's just looking like, she's got this like Michael Myers, old Kane from WWE look to her. And she just stabs him in the head. Joel doesn't know anything about it. She pops up, hey Joel, how you doing? All right, let's get going. So this is episode 3. This is the episode that I think Screen Rant, was it Screen Rant I was reading? I can't remember. They said this is the rumored episode to where they deviate greatly and it will be very controversial. So, to let you know, there is gay love, gay kissing, and gay sex in this. This is mainly all about Bill and Frank. Okay, 95% of the episode is about Bill and Frank and how Bill and Frank meet and how their whole relationship proceeds. I can't even think of the right word. So, what's interesting is how we're introduced to who Frank is when we go looking for the battery or whatever, or the truck. The truck, right? I think it is. Anyway, but when they find Frank has hung himself in the game. He's hung himself, and he writes this. He had written a note to Bill telling him how much he hated his guts and all this other stuff. Well, in this one, and also, we do not run into Bill the way you thought, like it happened in the game, where, Joel's hanging upside down and shooting all the infected coming at him, and Ellie's trying to help him. I wish they hadn't did that. That would have been done great. I think they could have did that really great, but they didn't do it like this. So, Bill, you find out, is a survivalist, which kind of makes sense for how everything he had set up. You find out he's a survivalist. One day he finds out someone fell into a hole in around, I guess a trap around his house, and it's Frank. So Frank poses no threat. They become cool for a few minutes. Bill makes some dinner, and he sees his piano. Frank seizes his piano, and he starts playing music on it, and then Bill starts playing, and he's like, who's that girl you were singing about? He's like, it was never a girl. And he said, I know. And I think he kisses him, and then he tells him, he's like, to take a shower. So then there's their love scene, and so they're together, right? Flash forward, Frank doesn't like the fact that Bill wants to stay secluded from everybody. Maybe there's some good people out there. So Frank's been talking to Tess over the radio. So they all end up having dinner together. Frank and Bill and Tess and Joel. Bill is still real standoffish, got the gun pointed at him on the table and everything. Basically, Joel lets him know we can be trusted, we're good people, we get it, and this and that. So they end up parting ways, and they flash forward, and now all of a sudden Frank is sick. So they've been together all this time. I thought they were going to show how they split up. They don't show them split up at all. Frank is sick. And I don't know if it's cancer or if it's AIDS, but I'm sitting there like, don't say AIDS because that's a little bit on the nose. Like, I'm like that's almost like a gay stereotype. Like, if you're gay, you're going to get AIDS type of thing. Like, but they never tell you why he's sick. But he does take these pills, and he's in a wheelchair now. I'm like, what the? Oh, by the way, Bill has a really badass scene because Joel told him there would be raiders eventually. And they're going to come in the night, and ain't going to come alone. So Bill was all set up. And he had machines lighting dudes. He had flamethrowers lighting dudes on fire. He out there gung-ho, taking everybody out. He gets shot in the leg when Frank comes out to bring him back in the house. Because Frank is woken up to all the guys getting shot at and killed and burning alive. So Frank saves him from bleeding out and everything. Because he got shot in like the gut. So anyway, like I said. So now Frank's dying. And then the darkest part, which it really bothered me, and Frank actually tells Bill, he tells him, this is my last day. Frank wants him to help him self-delete. He told him, listen, we're gonna go to the boutique, we're gonna pick out a suit, we're gonna get married, then you're going to bring me back. Then you're going to cook dinner for me. Then you're going to crush these pills up, put them in my wine, and then we're going to fall asleep. I'm going to fall asleep in your arms. I felt really bad for Bill. Bill was really crying hard. I felt really bad for Bill. Bill does this all for him. He used the whole, well, he's like, I don't want to do this. And he's like, do you love me? And I was like, oh, the whole, if you love me, you will trick. He said, if you love me, you'll love me the way I want you to love me. So he does it for him. So at the end, they crush up the pills. But then you find out, because Frank's like, wait, was there pills in the bottle too? He said, yeah, like enough to take out a horse. So they both ended up drinking it. Basically, he said, I don't agree with this, but from an objective stance, it's actually romantic. I was like, how's some Romeo Juliet tragedy stuff here, huh? So they both go to bed together. They go to bed. He says, take me to bed. So they, So then, boom, Ellie and Joel find the house, let themselves in, and Ellie finds the note. And she reads the note to him, and it's just like, look, to whomever, or most likely Joel, or probably Joel, or whatever. So it lets him know that they're in there. They self-deleted. We let the window open so the house didn't stink. And he left him the truck. He made a battery because he had the stuff in the fridge for him. Ellie snuck herself a gun out of his drawer, out of his little desk that he had in the house. And they drive off listening to Linda Ronstadt, some 80s music. That was it. So that's how they did it. I played through the part where, they ran into Bill. To me, that was much more badass, the way they did that. Joel getting strung up and shooting upside down. That was really a cool part. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see Bill's badass entrance. But they just decided to make it a love story. So, I'm just going to sit back and watch. Because this episode, all type of controversy. Okay? Especially if people got their kids watching and all this other stuff. Plus, with them deviating from it, from the main story, and people, it's going to be called all types of woke and everything. Hey, I told y'all, I am done letting IPs piss me off by deviating so much from the story, from the source material. I'm just like, you know what? it is what it is. So I will give this episode a 3 out of 5 woos. It was slightly above average. I'll give it that. Great acting. Extremely controversial. So it is what it is. We will move on. I can tell you this. So far right now, I care nothing for Ellie. I don't care what happens to her. I don't care. I love Ellie in the video game. I love her. She's adorable. She's spunky. She's got a little edge to her. But she's so adorable and likable. I care nothing for this Ellie. I don't care what happens to her. Joel is still okay with me. He's still the stoic, kind of strong father type. The thing, I love Joel in the game. This one, he's just okay. If they introduce Ellie, I'm not Ellie, Abby, I might actually watch. Because I, at this point, don't care what happens to either one of them. In the game, they tell the story in a way that makes you bond with the characters so much. I don't know what it is, what the little details are. Maybe you writers out there know. But whatever they did with the game truly makes you love those characters. That's why there was such an uproar when Part 2 came out and what they did to Joel and everything else in that. Now, this, I don't care. We'll see. They might stretch out Season 2, might be part of, still Part 1. We don't know how they're going to do it because when companies see money, they'll stretch a story out. So, it is what it is. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all thought. If you enjoyed my review, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And if you'd like to see my reaction, go over to Patreon or YouTube memberships. 10 million subscribers. Whoa.